Back in early December 2018, we were dispatched to a call. It was just before 1 a.m.
Yeah, this occurred in Waipunalei in the Hamakua district.
And the entire rescue team went out to try to save these two PE pickers.
Well, knowing that the terrain was going to be super muddy, pretty dangerous. The Hamakua coast is pretty steep.
It's an area of high cliffs between the two gulches there.
Cliffs drop off pretty sudden, pretty far down.
It was pouring rain the whole way there, all the way from Waikea, all the way up to Lapahoihoi.
It was pouring out. And I remember responding from Hilo, just thinking like, oh my God, there's waterfalls everywhere.
We got out there, we met up with Engine 17.
And he was able to get a great situation update to myself and the rescue company who are coming from Hilo, as well as the guys on the medic who are coming from Honoka'a.
And he gave us a quick rundown of what the reporting party was saying.
They had met with one of the OP pickers who had made it up the rope, but there was two of his friends that were still down. One on the cliff hanging onto a tree, and the other one was down on the bottom.
We got all our gear together. It was kind of a far hike.
It was about a quarter-mile hike from the road. We had to get all our equipment, our harnesses and ropes and all our hardware.
It's kind of a lot of equipment to carry down. Luckily, there was a bunch of us up there. Medic 8 guys came. They assisted us with getting some of the equipment down.
At the end is just this narrow strip of hollow trees. The pasture had a bottom fence line.
Basically had to cut trail down this muddy, steep hill to access the edge.
And their leaves coated everything in this hollow grove.
It was really wet, so slippery, muddy.
Pretty treacherous.
It was crazy. Like, there was no step you could make without it being unsecured.
The hill that they went down was about 45-degree angle just to get to the edge of the cliff.
And if you think about a 45-degree slope is 1 foot down for every foot forward. It is steep.
You can't really see the hill that we're walking down with your headlamp, and your headlamp is only shining 2 feet in front of you because the rain's coming down so hard.
So they had to come up with anchors set back probably about 50 yards from the edge. Captain Masuda, gave us our assignments. My assignment was to be lowered down the cliff.
There was a huge risk to Daniel going down the side.
So they lowered me down. Once I saw him, I was just calming, reassuring him, letting him know that we were coming for him and just to hang on, we're almost there.
He used what's called a pick-off harness. And it's basically a harness that you can come up and kind of rapidly clip into them, and then both of you are secured via a harness.
Got him hooked up to our ropes.
We were able to raise him up and bring both of them up safely.
So once we assisted the first patient up, we reset the system.
They lowered me back down to the second patient who was down on the shoreline.
Same process, but a much longer haul.
Danny was the rescue man, so he went back down, secured the second patient, brought him back up.
And the whole time that we were doing this, it was just pouring. I can't tell you how much that complicates everything. Kimo is the edgeman. He's a critical communication role. At a certain point, Daniel just disappeared into this, shaft of rain falling down as Kimo looked down.
It wasn't a perfect situation, of course.
And in honoring Daniel, we also wanted to provide special recognition to the team that helped Daniel save these two individuals.
Throughout this whole process, Company 17, Medic 8, and the rest of the Company 2 crew, we're all doing our part as a haul team, for the main line, belay line.
The two guys on the medic and the two guys at Company 17, they really helped us in that we had a thin crew there. For raising two people up a long cliff like that, they really carried more than their weight. They did a great job, and couldn't have done it without them.
So it was an amazing team effort, and It was an incredible rescue.
It stood out as one of those great high-angle rescues. Having been around a lot of impressive rescues in my time, this was one of those great ones.
The Daniel R. Sayre Memorial Foundation is extremely proud to present the award for meritorious service above and beyond the call of duty to Daniel Okamura.